welcome back. We are here as Russia in 1.5.2. This is probably going to be the last thing I record slash do in 1.5.2 specifically as we are getting ready for the next patch. All of the episodes are currently already recorded for both the France run and the UK run, although the UK run might be a little bit short. Didn't quite get to fascism yet. Not sure if we're going to get there on that one. I might record one more episode, but that's kind of like a little bit of a news update. Kind of waiting for the next update, but I was actually looking at the save file and decided maybe I wanted to play a little bit more on this particular run, and so we're going to get into it with Russia a little bit here, because I think we were just hitting a little bit of a turning point, and I was really trying to compare the strength of France and Russia. Although there's this massive confounding variable, you know, of transferring the EIC, which I think is maybe a little bit hard to reconcile or account for, but we're going to try and do it. We have so much bureaucracy. We're just increasing all of our institutions. I guess we'll just increase this as well. Although I think this is because these guys are powerful and really happy with us right now because they're radical. Also been kind of pleasantly surprised at how much you can improve these guys' clout. Yeah, so this is kind of what we're doing. We also have ready to discuss, slash off to the side, we do have the dev diary in case anyone wanted to discuss, you know, some of the changes coming down in 1.5.2, and I think that would be maybe interesting thing to do as well. But yeah, it's going to be probably a little bit of a shorter stream here, and yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so we do see we have to fill out our construction queue, and we are currently going human rights, but we have very little, we have a ton of progress on electricity. The reason we swapped human rights is, of course, because we managed to roll, where is this anarchist boyo here, and we want to use him to pass multiculturalism. So, to that end, since we know we're getting electricity relatively early, and electricity does take motors, we are going to try and overbuild engines a little bit. Now, engines aren't the most profitable industry, so maybe we are just going to, you know, make sure that they're auto-expanding in a few spots instead, and allowing the throughput to really get pushed. I don't know why there are so many in Lithuania. I think that you probably want to, you know, and perhaps we could actually maybe do this a little bit at some point in this instead of maybe play as Russia. Is I think that your strategy going into a lot of like 1.5 things is going to be setting up auto expansions, so you don't get this weird like psychopathic you know, or wait, I thought it was, okay, so like Lithuania, for example, it randomly built steel mills. Steel mills aren't very good in Lithuania, but this is why it's randomly building motor industries as well, because it has a lot of labor available. And so I think what you're going to want to do in almost every like state is you're going to want to maybe, you know, build something up build one or two buildings that you want to be built there and have them on auto expand, so that you don't get random psychopathic like steel mills in Lithuania which don't make a ton of sense, and then get random psychopathic, you know, motor industries in Lithuania that maybe don't make a lot of sense, you know, in order to kind of avoid this sort of problem. I guess if we know we're going to need more of those, we also should, you know, 51 some things here. And then also in Hebei, we're going to, actually, I don't even think we don't have 51 capacity yet, so we're just going to actually 31 things. And then Hebei, we did see, needs quite a bit of help on the infrastructure front, and is currently not getting any help. We'll just add a whole bunch to there, and then I think that'll be relatively good. And let's be off on our way here. Got a few viewers in. I know I said I was probably going to cancel the stream, so I'm expecting fewer people to show up, but that's okay. Let's see, what is this war about? Yes, this is how we got the East India, or the Dutch, as our subject, if I recall correctly. Or what did we get in exchange for this? They're in our market. Did we get Netherlands becomes our subject? Dirty. No, we didn't. So we must have transferred over the Dutch East Indies. They're now the Russian East Indies. We do need to build a little bit more stuff out, actually. So we're going to come in here, we're going to look at earnings and, you know, just kind of cruise through just to try and get an idea where our earnings are relatively good. And so, for example, I was, Tohoku. I think this is on auto expand. We're going to set it on auto expand. We know that there's iron there. There isn't sulfur, but there is a lot of demand because this is where we're building up some rice. And so there aren't too many provinces in here where we're also going to get access to rice, which are going to be able to build fertilizer better than Tohoku. So that seems like a fine place to build it. But like, so for example, coming back into Lithuania here, I think that, you know, it would have been reasonable for us early on to put a food industry in Lithuania and then put it on auto expand. And the reason being, well, it's not a lot of fish actually. What is Lithuania good for? Like resource wise, we have these 60 rye farms and these 60 livestock ranches, and so and 13 logging camps, but that's relatively low for Russia. So maybe actually it is even okay to do this there. I think that it would have been preferable to maybe have an expanding textile mill and like tooling workshop or something like this. And we just import the clothing inputs because generally speaking, the clothing inputs, like if we take a look, dye workshops, like fabric and dyes, for almost all of our country, we're going to be importing like big quantity, or we're going to be suffering MAPI penalties of, and same on, you know, silk. And if we're going to be suffering MAPI penalties, then it kind of doesn't matter where we build them. So like the places that don't look as good for MAPI should be building, you know, the relatively tall of those things. And places like Perm should be building all industrial goods for the most part, but then making use of highly efficient, you know, glassworks and these types of things. But if we're building tall for like textile mills, and we want to prioritize non-luxury clothing, which I think sometimes we do, you know, maybe this is a good place for Lithuania because you're talking about something in economics known as comparative advantage, and like Lithuania, even though it's not better, it's not going to be better than Perm at building, you know, clothing. What it's going to be is relative to like Perm is going to be better at building steel because it has iron and coal, and it's going to be better at building tools because it's going to have steel. And so relative, even though it's not better at building clothes than Perm, relative, in terms of relatively what it can build, its clothing will be better. And so this means you're going to want to build, you know, you have these states that otherwise just don't look very good for anything, and specifically in terms of their MAPI, and these are going to, you know, build clothes, and then we don't have any incredible clothes places other than Hebei and Beijing. And the reason why Hebei is decent is because it has both cotton and silk, and it has a lot of laborers, and so like we should be building clothes here tall, and we are already doing that, and they can't employ up all the ray. Notably, this silk is absolutely fantastic here because we have locally sourced silk. But yeah, so let's keep it going. Ooh, can we sway into this Greece one? Greece is going to be one that's really nice to sink our teeth into. Not yet, we can't sway. But they have really nice things that they could get. And maybe we can go Soviet. Okay, so we could become subject. Or just transfer a state. Now, Attica is where locally all the good stuff is. So if we can transfer Attica, that would be fantastic. We cannot. So we're going to ask them to become our protectorate. Now, do we prefer Greece, or do we prefer the aristocratic revolt? Probably Greece. So ask to become subject, become protectorate, and then let's move the 12th Russian army, which has no general. Market liberal. I think we move the radical. And we will have them put down this Greek rebellion, and in exchange they will become our subject, which is fantastic for us because now we will be gaining access to the Greek companies, although I think our companies are pretty good. We have the New Russia Company Limited, which is giving, I think this is maybe the second best company in the game. Kind of hard to evaluate, and we just slotted in Nokia, which is going to be nice because we are, you know, pushing power a little bit earlier than normal. Okay, so we're helping them with their thing. I don't think we can reduce autonomy while we are going to be helping them on their thing. If I recall correctly, we can... Okay, we can start a play, so we're going to have to take a look. A little bit of a look as what we are doing. We have a bunch of puppets. Do we have anyone with whom we can reduce autonomy? Well, all these people are puppets now, right? And so maybe, if I recall correctly, doesn't one of these guys have sulfur? One of these guys does have sulfur, and they have rice, which is nice because this is going to be a good place to build fertilizer, which I think we maybe want to get on doing. So Jodhpur, and all of these are our subjects, so maybe we just annex Jodhpur here? I mean, we can't annex the EIC, but we can annex these guys. It'll cost 4.3 infamy. I think this is a fine amount for us. And then we will, you know, just send someone over. Red Rover, Red Rover. Now we will, for the new Russian army, I think we're going to demobilize them. I don't think they will be required for this. And, are there any good decisions in the journal? We can take a look. I probably underlook at this because I'm trying to play a little fast. Here we have the Trans-Siberian Railway. Tobolsk needs a railway to finish that, so let's do that. Tobolsk. Thought we had built a okay, we're already working on that one. Public trading will time out. We will need to make more things. Trans-Siberian Railway we're working on. Ruler of the East we're kind of working on. Veiled Protectorate we're going to ignore. The People's Revolution I think we're going to do. The problem is that Council Republic does not have the +1 company that Laissez-Faire does. Laissez-Faire has +1 max number of companies, which means we want to decide on all of our late game companies before going communist. And I do think we did want to go communist, and maybe we could just ignore it though. We could just intentionally like not play as efficiently as possible. And this is maybe the way to go. We are waiting to be able to go on multiculturalism, which is why we're not passing a law. The loud car outside, perfect. But we can survey, yeah, okay, you are correct. We can do this. Survey skyscraper site. We're not doing this because we don't want to lose any of our generals. And last I checked, it was still bugged out. Okay, so let's try to get multiculturalism here. Very nice to roll a thing. Hello, Magua, how's it going? Yeah, a little bit of a... I wasn't sure if I was going to stream, I thought I wasn't, and then here we are. We've arrived. This is the super swimming, and we also notably almost had electrical generation research. Rubber mastication's coming on up. Ironclad is also coming up. I think we have the other tech already for it. Let's double check where we are currently. Let's make sure we're expanding. Is this Sind? Conquer Sind? How dare you? That's our sphere of influence. We will probably intervene in that. Which means, unfortunately, the army that we stood down is going to be not one we can raise up pretty easy. But, oh, if we're going communist, we actually probably don't want market liberals, huh? New Russian army, you're telling me. I really wish we could swap up the PMs, you know, mid-conflict, but we cannot. Let's see if we can get any... Nope, we've already exhausted our logging out here. It's hard out here for a logger. I'm trying to make the rent. Rubber mastication is kind of nice. I don't think we have any demand for it, so... at least not at this juncture. Just a reminder, if anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, or in any way wants to spark or have a discussion on Dev Diary 97, where they talked about all the changes coming on up. This is something we can do / discuss. This is kind of open for tabling, open for in late game. Which economic system is best in this patch? Well, currently, I still think it's cooperative ownership, and we could really go cooperative ownership. Oh no, wait, no, that's not the. But what we have here is +1 max number of companies, but it doesn't deslot a company last I checked. And so this means you want to pick you want to first research, perhaps rush macroeconomics, slot in all the companies you're going to want, and then once you have all your companies slotted in, then go Council Republic in the late game. It's still going to be better for all the reasons that it used to be better. We're not going to take splitters. We're going to offer them custodianship. A little bit unfortunate that we kind of maybe don't get the best roll there. But it is what it is. Is that separated from us? But why can't we put it on the front? Oh, okay. This is one we can get involved in. I think we are going to ask become subject. For time become protectorate. And then move the South American contingent there. Or where's the Chinese contingent? They're going to the front, so we're going to just move the South American contingent there to sit. And then one of these Russian armies we are going to mobilize, and we're going to put on the front and just have defend. And I think that'll be okay for us. But then here we can maybe come to their aid. So, Norway, we can get them as a subject, and we can't do this other one, so ask to become subject, I think. Become protectorate, thank you very much, smell you later. And then, once they say yes, then we will move this 12 stack over to there. Why is co-op better than command? I'm glad you asked. So, command economy is extremely good if your GDP is under like 500 million. Because what it does is it switches your ownership type of everything and switches it to government run, which gives you a government share, which means that all of the weekly balance goes to the government. And this allows you to leverage and put out an enormous amount of construction. And so this all going to the government treasury, you get so much money under command economy. However, there is a negative modifier in the investment pool, and here we can see our modifier is 0.83. And so all reinvestment that goes into the investment pool is being multiplied by this. And so this is just annihilating money. The money is still taken away from our capitalists and such, but it just gets deleted. So there's 0.17, the difference is just annihilated. When you go command economy, what happens is this instead applies to the government dividends. So the weekly balance that's going into the treasury is instead just a portion of it gets annihilated. As you approach 2 billion GDP, at 10 million GDP, it will be break even. You will get 100% of the dividend. At 2 billion GDP, you will only get 20% of the dividend, which means 80% of the positive balance in all of your buildings is getting annihilated. It is not getting reinvested into your economy in the form of consumption. So, for example, the stuff that's not going to reinvestment, the ownership shares, this is getting spent back into the economy in terms of buy orders for consumer goods. And so it stimulates the economy and it revolves through the economy and has positive effect. If you are on command economy, it just gets annihilated. And so as your GDP gets bigger, command economy starts to get really, really, really bad and is not very good. And generally speaking, you can get the GDP pretty high in the early game such that it doesn't make sense to go command economy. Because by the time you can go it's already bad. Is how I would capture that. Any changes for military tech? We have not, so in regards to the dev diary, I didn't see anything directly addressing military tech. And I was a little bit disappointed because if we scroll down, let's see. We saw that they had skirmish infantry, mobile artillery, cuirassiers, but they didn't address any of the PMs or if stuff would look different and stuff like this. There's unit experience and upgrades, so I'm thinking there could be a tech that affects unit experience, and that would be something interesting. But there currently is not a substantive change, in military techs, other than, the arms industry is now wildly efficient, and it was not before, the regular arms industry. I actually haven't looked at the artillery industry because the artillery hasn't really been working, but now this is wildly efficient, and it is one of the better sinks for hardwood, which is, now there's a hardwood glut. This is a natural effect that we see, and so I think that you are going to want to perhaps build, not really produce that much hardwood except in certain areas where you are producing arms industries, furniture, and to some extent ships on the second ships PM, although this kind of falls off. And so wanting to have your hardwood like locally sourced for certain things, I think is going to make it so that you want to build your entire military industrial complex around hardwood, which is a bit interesting, but the PM for small arms is now incredibly efficient, which means small arms is really cheap, or are really cheap, or this type of thing. And so that is perhaps the biggest effect, but I was thinking about making, the winners and losers of each bracket, and I don't think I can I can really evaluate the new tech bracket in the military section, because a lot of these techs just kind of don't do anything right now with the current state of affairs, although these give mobilization, or some of these give mobilization options. What about laissez-faire in the late game? So laissez-faire in the late game, the industrialists will contribute 20% of their investment, of their dividends to the investment pool. So if we come in here and we see, well, that doesn't have a positive weekly balance, so they're not contributing anything. But here we have a weekly balance of 34K. 20% of this gets reinvested. As you approach 2 billion GDP, 70% of this reinvestment money gets annihilated. You would actually prefer not to get 30% in your coffers and 70% annihilated, and instead you would rather the money just get spent into your economy in the form of buy orders. And so the reason that you want to swap to workers' co-ops is because workers' co-ops shopkeepers only contribute 5% of their dividends to the investment pool, whereas the capitalists are contributing 20%, and this 5% that you are contributing means that 95% of the money gets to spin through the economy instead of 80%, and so it is preferable to have shopkeeper ownership in the late game. What's the point of all these debuffs? I believe they are trying to slow down the player, is one of the primary reasons, although I do think command economy should get less efficient as you get bigger, so I think that one makes a lot more sense than the laissez-faire debuff. To some extent, the laissez-faire debuff might make sense if it's supposed to represent the fact that monopolistic power is being created and this is causing deadweight loss to society and this sort of thing, but I think that the primary intention is to slow down the player, because the performance suffers as you crank to like 50,000 construction. Performance gets worse, and so just by making it harder to get 50,000 construction, they kind of, in a sense, improve performance. In a sense. Just a reminder, the stream's probably going to be a little bit shorter. Peleus says, I think that the attraction from loyalist radicals is probably not going to be the most significant. I mean, it used to be a flat bonus. Now it's a max 25% attraction from a pop being 100% loyalist. It will be pretty minor in a lot of cases. You're talking about the attraction to people in government versus not in government. I've noticed the effect, so I think it's non-zero, but like also we can get like people loyal if they're even if they're out of government. Slow down the player. I'm already really slow player. The truth hurts. I think that this was one of the reasons, but it only slows you down if you're really fast, right? If you have a really low GDP, generally speaking, then the GDP malice is not going to affect you, right? So it's only conditionally slowing you down. We know we're probably going to crank that up in Hebei and this eventually. So we're just going to, put in a little bit ahead of time. Really trying to get on multiculti. How was our guy not able to get there in time? That kind of sucks. He was right in the correct HQ. Of course, we do have this. I really don't like that this this guy's demobilizing, so we can't like remobilize him at any point in time. But all right, fair enough. We unlocked steamships, so let's have a gander. They did change the steamship PM, notably. We have something. What they changed is, let's see if we have the other tech. I think they moved one of the PMs to the other one, but it still doesn't make a difference, and you need to research both gantry cranes and ironclads. But they moved some of the PMs from one thing to the other, but it doesn't even make sense why they would do that, because you still, in order to turn on what you want to turn on, you still need both. So. Alright, so we finished up with the 65 stack. Chinese contingent. Oh, we didn't even have it as pushing. Well, that's fine. These guys will move to this front, because this is where we're going to need the most help. Trying to resist Germany's advance while we're defending Sind. Living in Sind, as it were. We will recruit the anarchists. And also promote the anarchists. We really do want a higher clout on the Intelligentsia, so we're just going to come through and see if there's any Intelligentsia boyos who are needing a promotion. And this won't make the biggest difference, but it is going to be something. I mean, it's very, it can be noticeable, and we do want, that guy's already promoted up. There we go. More anarchists, more excite. I think we will probably just go for the USSR and just eat the inefficiency of just all the anarchists all day. I keep on just getting deja vu. That's the third Intelligentsia anarchist in that slot. But I think that we are just going to go USSR. I haven't done it before, and I don't think this run's going to go long enough for us to get the absolute max thing. So, I mean, we didn't check the clout beforehand, but we do see an immediate sharp rise in clout, which is going to help us with this law pass. Nice that we are actually getting Intelligentsia we can recruit up for this. But the trade unions are no longer powerful. Yeah, the truth hurts, though. Their bonuses were pretty good. Will I be doing playthroughs of the new formulas plus New Krakow for forming Commonwealth? I probably won't, on release, do the New Krakow, because I think that Krakow is generally not as good for viewership, because it's slow. Ooh, please, let us mobilize. Thank you. But if I'm not sure if their numbers are good enough for the Krakow run to feel good. And so I'll probably wait and see if someone else can do it and how easy or hard it is rather than trying to force a bunch of Krakow. But I will probably be doing the other runs, including maybe a Bavaria run into the Rhinish whatever thing. And so, yeah, if the Krakow, if you can do the Krakow thing like consistently enough, I will probably take a look at it. I think, what do we want to do? What are we going to need industries in? I mean, we know we're going to want to kind of prep some of this eventually. I think we're going to be a little bit aggressive with auto expansion in order to, you know, kind of better facilitate. Yuck. I know we annexed something somewhere and the PM is no good, but I don't know where it was. Rip the dream. I mean, we annexed this, but I thought we had swapped over the PMs. Oh, I think it'll just be whatever's at the bottom, no? Northern Norway. Okay, this is what it was. Alright, let's do that. Russian Patagonia. You know it. So maybe we could push back a little bit here, but I think we overall should be winning that war pretty consistently. As well as this war. In co-op, you can power... can you power PB somehow in a workers' co-op? I'm not sure. I think they're making changes to make it a bit easier. I know that, you know, if you get a ton of migration, it does seem easy to power up the PB, which is like the opposite of, like, it's not intuitive at all. But if you're heavily reliant on migration, you will pull a bunch of pops, like, for example, we're pulling off Mexican pops here, to Russia, and then these Mexicans will convert over to Russian. And so, for example, I'm not sure if these Catholic pops were the Mexican pops, but the fact that we are making more Russians because migration, so for example, if a culture group's primary culture is in that region, or if it's what is it? I forget what it's called, but if this this local culture might be Tartar, right? If it's Tatar, then they can't convert to Russian, but people from Han people can convert to Russian once they come here. And so in a very weird way, being super migration oriented, if you have already pulled off a ton of migration and converted a lot of people to your primary culture, can really enable the PB. Why Romania didn't form? I think we put a kibosh to it, actually. They asked for some of our dirt, and we told them no, and then they haven't formed. We did release Northern Transylvania to help them out, yeah. There's nothing we can do. The truth hurts. You are from Wallachia? Yeah, we released Transylvania. We gave them a better chance at a better life. They haven't done anything. But we also refused to give them Bessarabia, because it's our dirt. Seems like you're doing hegemon objective if you're grabbing India, you know? Yeah, I think we're ineligible for achievements, because in order to resolve some of the nastiness, let's call it, of, what is it, 1.5, we did, pull a little bit of a naughty and swapped around. I think we're going to downsize all of these. Okay, so now the question is do we want to build rice up to 51? The prices are already really depressed. They're very depressed locally. And, you know, we don't have access to silks, but this would also be a reasonable place to build up clothing. So why don't we 31 clothing here? Now it has dyes, so I think we definitely want to be on, but the question is we could maybe prioritize non-luxury clothing in this province, because we don't have access to silk. So let's do that. And then let's put it on auto expand. And then did we add a couple railways? I think we did. Let's add another. I'm just trying to fill up our queue here a little bit. And here we have our 20 stack, or someone's 20 stack coming on over. Where's our 20 stack? Oh, it's right here. We do want to put our... Oh, no, wait. These guys are defending. It's our 12 stack that's over... Where did our 12 stack go? Oh, yikes. We deleted some of it. I think they're over here. We're going to move these guys here as well to try and help with the push. We got photography. Big nice. Chicka chicka. Covered market is on. We're almost on electricity, so that will occupy a lot of our construction once we get it. To that end, I think we'll put a railway in. Let's solve some of these infrastructure problems. Kazan can have one. And we will put an additional one in Perm, or couple in Perm, additional couple in Luhansk, additional couple in here, and additional couple in here. and then an additional couple in Beijing, Hebei, and Outer Manchuria in anticipation of when we get on electricity, where we are going to be building up there. Now we will have a 10 stack here, which is maybe enough to help that out. We annex Jodhpur, so let's hit our buttons. And then, we can keep the level 1 university. I think maybe keeping level 1 universities is now going to be a little bit better. We can put this on auto expand. Are you going to have a shortage of... No, you're not. So we can do rail transport, because there are some rails here. Not a ton. I think we do want the rice on auto expand, and we are going to create fertilizer here and put that on auto expand. Where Nauru? Alright, we'll put this at the front here. Appreciate you liberating Transylvania. Austrians and Hungarians tried to force Catholicism on us. Yeah, it do be sounding like the Middle Ages. Alright, so we get electricity, so we will put down in Luhansk, at the back of the queue, Moscow, Perm, Ural. Was there another place? Beijing, Hebei, Outer Manchuria. We will put down in all of those places a 10-er stack, and that'll kind of be our start. I think that, in general, with the... If they don't fix the UI for local goods, it's going to be the case that you want to, you know, I think only build in heavily populated areas the electricity, and you want to avoid building it in rural areas. So, now we have our stuff researched. I think we go on dynamite here and shift work. And then, or we could rely more on tech spread and go a little bit ahead of time. Let's have a little vote in chat. I think both are reasonable. Research strategy. Ahead of time. In which case we might need to expand universities or get better tech now. We will start the poll. You know, in terms of what we can do in terms of society tech is malaria prevention would be reasonable to go for. We could also go ahead of time for Zeppelins or corporate management. Dynamite is particularly good, though. So we might be doing that. You look a bit like an American version of Zhukov. Zhukov, really? Hold up. I don't even think I look like Zhukov, but let's take a look at that, actually. I guess a little bit. Here, let's, there is, Dear Zhukov. Do I look like I like Coca-Cola enough? That's the real question. Zhukov was a fan of Coca-Cola. I've heard that if you go communist, you can't trade. Is that true? Because of embargo? You will trade a lot less. People are more likely to embargo you from having incompatible economic systems, and they won't like you as much, and so they're more likely to embargo you, but it's not a guaranteed embargo. And also you can regime change them, perhaps, to make them communist, and if they're communist as well, then they have no problem trading with you, but it's not guaranteed. Anatolian says, I'm Weeblord69, by the way. Did you change your YouTube handle, or are you Weeblord on the Discord? Turkish guy. Hello. I thought you said you were from Wallachia, though. Get better tech now, everyone says? Alright, then we are going to do dynamite. Probably... I don't know if we can make that good use of pump jacks, but I'm pretty excited about the notion of actually starting to discover oil and utilize oil, and maybe we can do something where we go pump jacks into combustion engine, and then plastics, something like this maybe. Or maybe pump jacks into plastics. We have a pretty good enactment chance here. I think that's probably because... Why is our enactment chance so good? I'm so confused. It shouldn't be that high, should it? Have we just been asleep at the wheel? Where's our success chance coming from? Oh, political movement to enact multicultural... A huge political movement. From this gentleman here. Who is an anarchist. Yep, okay, that'll do it. Can we invite another anarchist, boyo? One last thing to check. No, we cannot. Unfortunate. But that's very lucky for us. Trade agreement between two countries. Sure. We are trying to expand our customs union. Now, our customs union will fall apart when we go communist, but we don't need them. You changed your handle on YouTube? Uh-oh. Why are you calling me an enemy? Nobody. We say that word describing enemies. It is from Turkish and originally Persian word. Interesting. I mean... So wait. Okay, so nobody's Turkish? Okay. I was very confused. Still a little confused. Crying, screaming, throwing up. It do be like that sometimes. Law enforcement was increased. We could, of course, increase institutions further. We have this institution coming on up. It's only going to cost 1,000. I think we're going to go law enforcement level 3. And get less state penalties from turmoil in incorporated states, which is not everything. How is our incorporation of Hebeg doing, though? 8 years to go. I think we will be turning on that company, despite the fact that we already have a company. But maybe we swap out New Russia Limited for it. I'm not sure exactly what's best. You're Turkish? Ah. Turkish culture was heavily influenced by Persian. That makes a lot of sense. Identify as Turkish, but genetically I'm only 25% Kurdish. Kurdish, or Kurdistan if it were a country would be around here, right? It's not a country, but that's the region. We get a little bit of extra juice here. Yeah, we're just on defense front, so we should be in pretty good shape here. We have some allies that are trying to push, which is not the best. Which side are we supporting here? I feel like, are our guys actually pushing anything? No, they say they are. We have a big advantage here. Okay, so I think eventually we get in. Just gonna take a hot minute. How much construction efficiency are we getting? 2.5? It's probably not worth the cost on bureaucracy. We've been living together for a while now with Turks and Kurds, brother races. Interesting. Is my understanding... Okay. That's something I need to look into then. I thought there was some hostility between the Turks and the Kurds. Very interesting. So, in terms of tech, what are we going next? I think we're going shift work next. We really can benefit. We have a ton of 51s built all over the place. Notably, I don't think it's like something you really rush anymore, but I do think it's particularly good. I wish this also told you all the places that weren't connected, so we would build a port in each one, but Alas, no dice. Luhansk looks to be the first one. Probably not the best sequencing. We got 6 weeks on some of these. We progressed to voting on multiculturalism. Hopefully we don't get bricked, because we do have 2 setbacks already. So, we're 1 unlucky roll from catastrophe, calamity. We have a ton of army here. Where's our Chinese contingent? They're already there. This guy is defending in Sind, and this guy is defending on the front. So I think what do you think? The largest ethnicity without a country is Kurds. That was my, what is going on here? I think we will move this home front to deal with this. Yeah, it used to be the Jewish people, I believe, but then now they have a country. It's the politics causing fire. We've been living together for 1,000 years, since 1071. Yeah, I mean, I thought I remembered, like, when the United States withdrawal from Syria, that, like, a lot of Kurdish troops, got, like, ran over by, Turkey and Russia. And so that's why I was thinking this. But also, I'm not especially well informed on the region. And also, like, what people's countries do is not indicative of what the people think, necessarily. Oh no, we got the Ripper event. Rip the dream. So we'll just put in there. And I think that, yeah, German war reps are the target here. Is there a good place for us to... Have they started colonizing anywhere? We're looking for maybe a place to land that would be easy. It doesn't look it. Because if we can land, then we can start enforcing the, then we can start enforcing the other thing. Looks like we do not have a very strong advantage here, so I think we're just gonna stay on defense. And we get multiculturalism. Hell yeah, baby. This, of course, makes the petite bourgeoisie no longer powerful instantly. They still have a lot of clout, though. So I don't think... Yeah, and then we also complete New Colossus, too. Open arms. Come one, come all. 25% migration attraction. Let's go, baby. And so I do believe we're encouraging in here, in Perm. And so we have 10k migration currently. And let's see what we have after the next tick. 37k, so that'll help us out quite a bit. We're still getting more pop growth just from, you know, more native things, but we're gonna take that and we're gonna ditch one of these. And I think we maybe go USSR. I'm not sure what company we're gonna give up, because we are gonna lose a company if we go Council Republic. Why can we not go Council Republic? You are an anarchist, my friend. And we have this agitator. What's going on here? Not part of our laws. We haven't invented socialism. So why don't we go dynamite into socialism then? A little bit more of an RP type of thing. I don't think going communist right now is good. We aren't even at the threshold where it's better for GDP, so... Well, Kurdistan is also split in Syria, Iraq, Iran. Everyone keeps them in place so that they don't seek independence. Albanians controlled all of Egypt? That's news to me. Albanians are Balkan Turks with different language nowadays. Would they disagree with that characterization? I know some Albanian people, and I feel like, well, they might not necessarily agree with the characterization. We're going to turn on the electricity PMs, which will cause this place to employ up. Although I don't know they disagree with the characterization either, so... We're going to turn on the PMs. We're going to turn on the PMs. It's going to be really nice for Russia, I think, electricity in general, because one of the better PMs that you initially get on is the one that's giving you a lot of wood, so... Electric streetlights also seems very strong, but it's like also kind of hard to evaluate. So, yeah. Hey, Generalist says not a name. How's it going? Decided to skip the break today? Yeah, I decided to do a little bit of a shorter stream. Probably going to try and keep it around maybe 2 hours or an hour and a half. We could do an alliance with the UK, with Mummy. I think we'll say no. We'll go our own way. I think we're going to start introducing electricity in a lot more places, too. So, the problem is like, there's no way to, like, know what the earnings will look like, for this type of thing. It's not, the best. But I guess maybe we'll go... Moscow? Tver? Do we have a lot of people in... I think we have a lot in Samara. Where do we also have a lot of engines, I think, is maybe... Besiberia, Kherson, Estonia, Lithuania. Besiberia, Estonia, Lithuania. So we'll do this kind of as our next flight of electricity. Turkey is one of the only nations to militarily support Albania. Interesting. Oh, we lose our bureaucracy. We had a huge surplus of bureaucracy, and now it's all gone. That bonus is actually kind of annoying. It's not that it's bad, but, like, you often go from having, like, way too much to, like, too little. And it, like, being negative on the bureaucracy is particularly bad because it annihilates money, so it's kind of just annoying in general. Let's see here. What can we go? Dedicated police force is... I suppose we could start restricting child labor. The Industrialists are just going to be upset with this in general. We can go compulsory primary school. This doesn't radicalize them. And this kind of tears the band-aid off. The trade unions like it also. And I think the trade unions we're not getting any bonuses from currently. So I think that this will be a decent law pass here. And so the workforce ratio and other stuff will be nice. We are going to, this 20 stack is going to be coming on over, so we're going to put him on defend front. And this 6 stack is also going to be... We see a not mobilized 6 stack. Where are you from, girl? What's your story? They're from India. So I think they are from this new province here. And I think we just want to delete them down, so... Smell you later. You have a tech penalty if you research a higher tier without having all the lower tiers? Yes. Yes, you do have a tech penalty. There is a huge penalty. The reason why we would want to research ahead of time, however, is tech spread can only apply to stuff other people have researched. And so while we go ahead of time and eat the penalty, we can spread the techs that everyone else is researching. By researching some of the lower tier tech, what we are doing is we are decreasing the probability that someone else researches this and we're able to benefit from our tech spread. You could get more tech spread just by building universities. You cannot get more active tech research by building more universities past a certain point. And so overall, it would allow you to get more tech if you go ahead of time, but it's more expensive because you need to invest in more universities, and it's not necessarily going to be efficient in the short term. And so this is kind of why we research in that way. but I'll tell you how long research will take, and you can see how much longest ahead of time versus on time. I don't think it tells you the exact percentage. I don't think it tells you the exact penalty, but it'll tell you, yeah. But it does make sense to go ahead of time past a certain point. But, like, Dynamite's really good, Shiftwork's really good, and so some of the better techs are already here. But, like, we might go compression ignition way early, or we're almost certainly going to go compression ignition early and also macroeconomics really early. You know, I think these are probably the best tier 5 techs when you exclude the military techs, which we're not gonna kind of play around with right now because they're kind of bad. Hey Java, how's it going? So, yeah, we started the stream at about 10 o'clock, and so we're either gonna go for an hour and a half or 2 hours here. Just have a little bit of a shorter, kind of mellow stream. And I kind of did want to go communist on this, because I've actually never done USSR, so maybe that'll be kind of where we look to, what we look to do. Notably, I don't think it's worth losing the company, and especially not at this GDP level, but we'll do it anyways. Okay, did we finish a bunch of our things? Surely not. Oh, we did. Okay, I see you. So now we're gonna need to turn some stuff on. Didn't mean to overbuild these, but it's fine. These will be able to employ up. Just generally kind of very uncomfortable using all these PMs. Or turning them on specifically. Oh, we got enforced on. No, because they didn't have anything on us, and Sin... Oh, did Sin just get landed? Rip the dream. Rip the dream. Okay. I don't really like how... Did they finally land Sind? Maybe that was what happened. I didn't see it. If that's what happened, then that's fine. I think we'll look to get rid of one of these. We can always increase taxes at the current point we're at. I don't know if it's better to increase taxes so we can increase construction. How much labor do we have just generally? I guess we do have quite a bit of labor, especially by annexing Hybridad. And we accept everyone, so we should probably be siphoning off at decent clips here. Great clips. That's great. How much is this annex? 75? That's quite a bit. What are we at right now? I mean, maybe you just tear the Band-Aid off, huh? Maybe you just tear the Band-Aid off? I mean, we want this territory. I think actually what we'll do is we'll annex Mysore first. That way we will have something that has coastal access, or Baroda. And this will give us a very small amount of infamy. And then we'll just, you know, send the Chinese contingent on over to deal with it. But this way we will have a place we can push in. I guess we should have maybe taken something closer to the EIC's capital, but... Now, why can't we... Alright, let's move this here. And... the Africa Army will also maybe mobilize as well. Are you lost? And we'll send them there. And we're currently building government administrations and a whole bunch of electricity places. So let's come in here and see where our earnings are worst. Okay, it doesn't look like we've constructed any of these yet. So that have like really butt earnings, right? Luhansk actually is going to have some local demand. Rubber rush. Okay. Dynamite. See yeah, so like one of the strategies when you start to get bigger is to rely more on tech spread. Because the cost of a university is kind of a fixed cost, but the positive effects of technology are scaling with the size of your country. And so as you get bigger and bigger and stronger, you start to want to lean more into going ahead of time. And I think by tier 4 or tier like 3 to 4-ish, you only want to be going ahead of time. You're doing well, Java? That's good. Will we play Cold War Project again sometime? Almost certainly, but probably not in the near future. Is there a secret menu where you can select a good and then see a list of local prices in your market? When you can select a good and see the local prices in your market? I'm not sure. Yes, there is a secret menu. Here is the secret menu. If you annex them, the siphons pops off them, and you can get access to opium and rice, which you can export. Yeah, I think it is correct, but we'll be getting. I don't like going above 75 infamy, but to be fair, we're gonna kill our customs union anyways when we go socialism, so it's probably not a big deal. But it will kill our customs union, and so this is the negative consideration for it. But it's also just like ripping off a band-aid. It's not a question of delaying their annexation, it's just we categorically can't annex them. Unless these guys are our subject, right? And so in theory, if we could get them to, you know, get rid of migration controls, this would be fine. But they're like never going to get on a government that is going to allow this to happen. I mean, we could also make them go tenant farmers. But I don't think we want to do that because this is just going to cause them to rev if we tried to force them on to tenant farmers here. But that would eventually maybe allow us to get them off of migration controls onto no migration controls if we like intentionally put in a lot of reforms. But I think we're just going to annex them, yeah. Lay the foundations, baby. I guess we want maybe power plants in the capital, huh? And where are the Bezaberia? So Bezaberia, we are also going to put on electric streetlights. Maybe not the best place to have turned them on, but okay. Here we have them in here. And the reason we built them here is because we have local engine production, and so in theory it's a little bit cheaper, but again, probably don't need level 10. But we were just trying to do the things and the things. Let's see. We'll take the enactment chance, I think. Or the chance at the enactment chance. Darn. We didn't hit it. There is another... So we should have now places like Tver have terrible profitability. But Tver are really excited because they have a level 40 logging camp. And so electric sawmills there. Chef's kiss. So... we'll turn on the streetlights. The EIC will never liberalize with the AI. I agree, but we can actually force them to with this new mechanic. Do you play harsh difficulty? I do not. I could, but I think that most people want like more vanilla, like straightforward content, and so like it would there would be a lot more pie thumbing. And to be fair, I already think the AI is pretty pie thumbful. Here we do see the auto queue will overbuild power, which is one of the reasons why I think that in general you don't want to. You want to be a little bit careful with it. We see that in Estonia, the car is loud outside. It's very loud. It's so loud. It's the loudest of louds. We have this kind of finishing here. Again, probably not the best place. We probably should have done it by, to be honest, which places have the highest levels of logging probably would have been better. So Moscow, Bryansk. Maybe we'll add some in Bryansk. And where's Irkutsk? Irkutsk and Bryansk. Let's find those places. Irkutsk. We got Bryansk. Where's Irkutsk? Is it over here somewhere? My kingdom. Irkutsk. Where are you at? Okay. Well, was never finding that in that way. But it does have a lot of logging, so that'll be good. The IC have 4 strong IGs. You can force them to pass, but it doesn't actually guarantee it passes. Yeah, but I'm saying, I think in theory you could eventually get them off of it. Landlords, army, rural fork, and Intelligentsia, so they could liberalize. And I don't like how unpredictable the mechanic is, and you can use it against other nations who are not under your nation. Yeah, but this is, like, that's clearly just a bug. The air uprising, which of course is why we built the African army in the first place, to put down these types of nastinesses. Also colonize there. We're on study for compulsory primary school and dynamite, baby. Explosive industries are just so good in general. Like, the demand profile is really nice. It's like local feedback loops because it uses the iron, coal, and sulfur to feed into the iron, coal, and sulfur. It's just very, very strong. So in theory, iron, coal, sulfur are actually also going to be better for turning dynamite on in general, but we're going to turn it on everywhere, I think. Just straight up. Just very big nice. Some big nices in chat for dynamite. I'm gonna 31 some of these. That are currently not at that point. Go local police force to save some bureaucracy. Jesus. I don't think I don't think we're gonna do that one. These guys want national militia. Interesting. You know, national militia is generally hard to go late game, and this is an interesting idea because the pop goods cost modifier, but I don't think you pay enough for military goods for this to be good, is kind of my intuition. Belungen is fearful. We're going to improve relations with them because we do want to be able to sway in their direction, and we have been fighting them a bit. Look at our auto queue, though. This is what I'm talking about with, like, when I say that this thing is effectively bugged. Look at this. It's so psychotic, man. So I think it might not even be worth turning on power in the first place, because it looks at this, it says the weekly balance is great, but, like, it's just not willing to, like, if it can't hire up, it just thinks the weekly balance is great, and it just behaves absolutely psychotically with the local goods prices. Auto expand on railways is also, like, you don't want to be doing, but, like, this is just absolutely wrecking us, because it's just fully occupying all of our infrastructure, and it's like, not going to do anything productive. And so, like, power plants are just so incredibly frustrating to use right now. Because not only is it a ton of micromanagement, which it is, it's also, that's like way more than I thought it was going to be. Holy shit. But it's also, like, it's, not only is it super tedious, the auto queue just goes absolutely ballistic, with power plants. It is nice that we're getting the company bonus on them, though. We're getting additional throughput, so that's cool, I guess. National militia might be good for Qing. I agree. It might be okay on Qing. It really depends on how, much what they're gonna do with some things. But yeah, this is just... We don't like that. We don't like it one bit. What it's doing to us. I think we can't offer support. I don't think we want to have a fight over Belungen, to be honest. We can just take the easy state, transfer state, Lujon. We'll just take the easy state here. Can we see the unit model on map? It's the biggest update. It hasn't been in yet, but let's find one, yeah? We don't have a front currently developed, I don't think. I'm not sure if we could see the unit models on the map without it. I do like our academic foil. Alright, let's find where Estonia, so Bezabaria, did we have, oh, I think we activated a little bit. Where are earnings negative? Samara, we've maybe not turned anything on, so let's take a look here. Yeah, but the fact that it just wrecks your infra, because I think it just auto expands them up to your infrastructure cap. So if you have an infrastructure surplus somewhere and you build electricity there, it just absolutely blitzes them up to the cap. And so yeah, we get a stable supply of power. Yeah, okay, thanks, bud. But now we just kind of, this is wasted, you know? Why did you take Tehuku? Was it for a company? No, it was a reverse sway potential, and so of the states I could take, this one does have a lot of raw resources relative to other ones, and also, you know, rice is nice. That's kind of what we've been doing here. So the grain prices are super depressed, and so it is supplying, you know, our overall, like, what's going on here. I guess in theory we could have maybe built a little bit of some other stuff, but just bringing the rice to max level seems fine too. This is what we might do in some of these. Maybe motors are too expensive. This isn't the problem. This is a different. The employment's not even up to one level of power plant. That our employment level is not even one full level of power plant. Like, this is not. It's not just that engines aren't even that expensive. This is kind of normal for engines. They'll often be slightly expensive. Just as a result of how things get. I don't think we care if this guy gets grifter. Maybe we care a little bit. Perhaps we care if we want to go the Soviet, so we'll do this. We'll also go up at speed a little bit. Are you going for single party state? I'm probably not going to be doing that this run. So this run is probably not going to get played after today, and I don't think we're doing that today. So, not that single party state would be bad, but I don't think we're going to be doing that. Yeah, but the fact that as soon as we build any extra infra anywhere, it's just going to be immediately swallowed up by the maw that is power plants is maybe, like, also a really significant problem. Oh, we can't even annex them yet. Okay. So we do need to put down this native uprising, or capitulate to it is potentially also an option. We could just capitulate here, because we've already got what we want, which of course is Russian dirt in Lujan, which, yeah, the port's in the queue already, so that's good for us. I think we did put in Irtusk here, a new one, so we're going to go electric streetlights and logging. It's a shame though, because like the wood often gets really expensive now, and we have a ton of wood in Russia, and so in theory it's also really good. Also, we do have a company for this electricity too, right? But I just don't think we could also export paper probably a little bit better. Why don't we export some paper? I'm forgetting that we're doing. We can probably export and build paper a little bit better than normal. So let's see if we can 31 anything here. We can. Cape Bay is going to be particularly nice for it. So maybe we'll look to specialize in paper a little bit. I'm a noob. Is there any other way to way private entities own rich strata invest autonomously in other countries? They don't invest in other countries. Was this a thing even back then? I don't know about the historical question. Whether or not it was a thing. We will reduce their autonomy. Nope. We can't. What's this? We cannot reduce autonomy because Russian colonization rights for Patagonia. Russian Patagonia. Oh, what the hell? Okay, I guess. We'll move the Africa army over here. Steam-powered threshers. We will turn them on in rye farms, wheat farms, not rice farms, maize and this. Also doing all the livestock on slaughterhouses. Let's do it, baby. We have a decent amount of government administrations in the queue. We might need some more. So let's take a look where we have insufficient tax. Gujarat we newly acquired. And so why don't we... These will construct really slow, but they'll generally be kind of efficient. So we'll just do that for now. What you up... what up? You got rice? Yeah, got rice. Got rice, snitch? Yeah. Full quote from Generalist. No, well, here, take some. Yeah, basically. Speaking of, we actually have enough rice that we should probably be exporting grain, sugar, and... Yeah. The thing is, grain's really good at increasing SOL. But I think we'll just do this. Take some, please. Also, sugar and fruit. I really don't like how much the auto queue builds of fruit, though. I'm not a fan of this. I think the auto queue builds a ton of fruit because of how substitution works, and I'm not a fan. It's a luxury, so like the... I don't even think it's that profitable, they just build a lot of it. Or it might be profitable, but I'm not a... The auto queue builds like way more banana plantations than I would like. And I think it's because early on, most of what you can provide in terms of luxury food is in fruit. And so it's like a self-reinforcing thing, and it, I believe, depresses overall consumption of groceries later, which is actually a decent industry if pops actually consume the groceries, which they kind of don't. I think we'll get sell. Oh no, wait, buy. Trade recompetitiveness is definitely better. Yep. Baby, buy. I think they changed that one. I mean, exporting rice will help investing into the economy and then all raising SOL and increasing consumption. Yeah, but you really care about the lower pop SOL, but I mean, overall, I did think it was worth it, so we did it. But you care more about these prices than you do these prices, because you have decreasing marginal returns on pops having money as their wealth goes up, and so like the grain costing less really does have a pretty big impact on SOL, as so does clothing, basic clothing, and the other one. I mean, we will want to build clothes here too, then, huh? Let's put down textile mills, and then a couple of these, and I think we just 31 the textile mills here. And then we maybe, do you have silk? You don't have silk. You're not going to have much of the other stuff, so we're actually going to put this on prioritize, non. Russian banana plantation sounds like an oxymoron. It doesn't it? It do be that way. Rice farms employ a lot of peasants, increasing your SOL by giving them better jobs. Yeah, and it makes them consume, like, it increases their consumption by, like, 10x by de-peasanting them. So I definitely think building the rice is, like, I think it's just insane. I think it should have been nerfed, and the fact that, I mean, like, I think it's obscene. Getting approval on them would probably be pretty good for us, no? Yeah, so this would... Watch this just crank up to... I kind of hate that as a phenomenon. I think it's pretty annoying. What do we have on our boyo? Our gentleman here. Cruel. Don't like that. Minus infamy decay. Oh, this was the guy with minus infamy decay plus infamy decay. He was the best of guys. He was the worst of guys. It do be like that. Transfer subjects. Who will you transfer to us now? Transfer states. I guess we can clean some of this up by going for British Congo. I don't think they're really done colonizing there, though, so that might not be ideal. British Guyana, though. It's going to actually be great. We already have the Dutch Guyana. Yeah, I think we do want to finish these guys out. We will send. There we go. Ecuador will now be a subject. And the US of A also having a bit of a play. Have you built up the silk and cotton in that one state in Russia for the clothing? A little bit. One of the problems with that state is it does have a construction malaise. And so I'm not sure to what extent it's... Wow, that was just like instant, huh? God damn it. And we can't join the other side because UK is on one of the sides. Well, that's annoying. You can always leave UK's side, but it's fine. I think we do want Guyana anyways. GDP is kind of steady. I guess it's sped up a little bit. I think we do have some provinces that we need to attend to. So Bryansk, Ingria. Any others? No, not really. Okay, so we will turn on the stuff here. And we have fully, like, expanded out, I think, if I'm not mistaken, like, our wood in, like, Russia proper. So let's take a look at that, maybe exporting both hardwood and softwood. Because we have really increased softwood production by quite a lot, yeah. Very nice getting the throughput on it, too. Take Ireland? Bro, the border gore is a little bit too much for me. I think we will probably be wrapping up the stream relatively soon. Did just kind of want to do a bit of a short one. I'm not sure if we'll get onto... We haven't even researched socialism yet. I guess we'll take a look if there's a movement for Council Republic and if we think we can get it quickly. Let's take a look around for some agitators. Civilizing mission, nice. We're shopping around for someone who might be able to help us go communist. Not an industrialist. What am I doing there? Took a wrong turn. So he already gave us what we wanted. So now we can side on USA against transfer state. Oh my god. Give it to me. Give me New York. Where is it? There's no way no shout they give New York, huh? New Mexico. New Mexico, do we have an adjacency to it? No, Arizona though we do. Oh no, wait, never mind. This is the American Peasant Revolt. Okay, so we could ask for obligation. Here we could also... We could transfer states from the revolt. They'll take anything except for Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, and New York. The exact state we wanted, New York. Now we could take Pennsylvania and be landlocked. But then we could build up the company and do the Carnegie thing. I think that's not worth. I think we just take Texas and then we say smell you later, huh? We say we take Texas and we say smell you later. And we don't help them at all. We don't really want to be embroiled in a long-standing conflict with the UK, I don't think. We'll declare neutrality here. Unless they put in war goals on us, which I don't think they will. So I think we just... Joining Russian market as Mexico is a great strategy to get a lot of pops. It really is. I think we are... It's... If you're the player, though, it goes the other direction, right? Like, we're stealing Mexican pops. I don't think there are a bunch of Russians in Jalisco. Well, Jalisco has a decent amount of pops. See, there aren't randomly a bunch of Russians here. What happened here? Why is that minus whatever? It's already there, but it's minus 100. But what is this? What is this? What is this? This is a bug. This is a bug. No. The revolt's just gonna full occupy us while we're enforcing on them. Rip the dream. Tragedy. Alright, we'll say smell you later. Thanks for Texas, bud. I hope that gets fixed. I mean, we're gonna abuse it until it does, but I hope it gets fixed. So tedious, man. We use reset PMs, it resets it to use transportation, which it doesn't have, and yeah. Financial paradise. Cultural exclusion, of course. Yeah, Russia gets in Qing market pretty often. They do get Qing in the market. I think Qing is mad at us for some reason, though. I'm not sure why. Ah, yes, when you want communism, you look to help from the capitalists. Capitalists, please. You're my only hope. What diet has Mexico been on? Mexico's been on the getting clapped diet. Also just very strange that the US took this. I think they might have had leftover maneuvers and like, I don't know what that was about. This is actually pretty cursed borders. I mean, can we go USSR? What are we not spreading here? Maybe we can prepare for something. We're not spreading shift work? Oh, dude, it's so nice. Agrarian Party wins. Yet again. You telling me? We put the armed forces in. They're Republican. But we might be able to find a communist or something somewhere. Oh, boy. So the trade unions are already really happy. We don't want to eat the clout of the industrialists, so we'll just do that option. Or sorry, the approval of the industrialists. Not the clout. I think we'll just this on auto expand as well. Now, would non-luxury clothing be better? Probably be better for the rest of our country. If these guys don't have access to silks, which they don't. So we're gonna do that. Ripper gets caught. Hell yeah, brother. You're telling me. Are we getting primary schools here? Yeah, baby. Maybe we decrease police. Oop, that's not what we wanted to do. Maybe we decrease police a notch while we're increasing this. Maybe we keep... Well, so the thing is we don't have as much bureaucracy as it looks like, because we just have it because we have the approval thing. So maybe we decrease police and increase here, and that's maybe okay. Something like this. Ton of change. Oh, what's the... Wait, what? What happened? Why'd you... What? Man. That leader was just holding up the entire group. They resigned from government because the leader... Okay, they resigned and then they marginalized instantly. Interesting. And then... Wow, a bunch of stuff happened all at once off to the side here. Trade unions are now powerful. A veteran bonus change. Just off this one guy retiring, just cascade. Alright. Just gonna take kind of a look around, see if we can get anyone else who's gonna support communism. No, we cannot. Please make it stop. Make it stop, you guys. Can we assign to the front now? Okay, we can assign to the front now. But we're full occupied them. But now at least we can deoccupy ourselves. Truly, best timeline. 14 weeks to socialism here. We construct a skyscraper. I think we're going to use the trade PM. Trade nexus. I'm not like your little whatevers. Texas, that bug is coup. It's a coup bug? Okay. I'm not sure exactly how I feel of pollution, but it definitely fits in Victoria 3. Mostly thinking about how to deal with it. I don't know how much will change because of it. I mean, if it's based on arable land, suddenly there's a lot of, like, territory that, like, is going to be a lot harder to play tall in, right? Like, the UK does not have a lot of arable land. Like, what are you... Home counties is going to be really hard to populate, no? Like, just that it makes arable land states way better for... Yeah, exactly. This is... Yep. Way better for industry. Border go front. We banana plant colonies on Mars with Elon Musk. Inca civilization stopped Russian imperialism. Seriously. This is the way. They're still advancing, so I don't know what's up with this. And they're at minus 100, but not capitulating. Really? Real? We might just have to capitulate then. Throw in the towel. We're just getting devastation. Yeah, they're not capitulating. Alright. We give up. You win. Are they our subject? Nope. God, that sucks. That's stupid. Clearly a bug. Russian architecture. Hell yeah, brother. Alright, we can reduce some autonomy in a couple spots. So we'll reduce there. We'll reduce here. And we were thinking of annexing here. I mean... Yeah. Don't tell me you're bugged. What the hell? Like, okay. I think maybe we can push out from here. Maybe not. I mean, we certainly have more guys. We'll keep the home front guys at home. We maybe want to fire all of our industrialists sometime soon in terms of the army. We are trying to pass Someone was complaining about this and about how much you could affect clout, and I'm inclined to agree with them, although it's not something I do often enough by, you know, swapping around generals and stuff. They're complaining that you can do it, and you absolutely can, but we'll do some of that action. Add some ports. Check the Discord screenshot channel. There's a trade center going wild. Actually, we could probably keep the game going, to be honest. Seek sides with the EIC? Come on. Germany sides. Ah. Germany siding with the EIC is actually very painful. We could return something to them. What do you want? Transfer states. What do you want, my guy? Adana? Sure, bud. They're probably not actually going to even help us, though. That's the rub. We're not going to put any war goals in on some people. I wish there was a way to switch all advance, all defend. This would be really nice. I mean, we might as well just puppet the Sikhs, right? While we're at it. If everyone's gonna hate our guts anyways. Maybe not. Maybe we should just chill out a bit. Regime change in EIC? Why? We're annexing them. Yeah. US revolt, you lied to me, the truth hurts. Basically. Oh yeah. We were gonna check the thing in the Discord. And screenshots. Yeah, that trade center do be wilding out. Plus, like, was that 12,000% productivity? That is insane. Another Russia Ching buff. 12,000% high? Seems like a lot of percents. Alright, so we get communism going. I don't think it matters too much what we do here. Maybe we want the pump jacks. Could just go shift work faster. Could say give me them Zeppelins. Yeah, this is the way, huh? What did they get? They got swayed with bankroll, Russia they just joined because they wanted to. We can protectorate them, but I think, no, we're gonna chill on that. People are gonna hate us enough just going communist. We're gonna lose our entire customs union. We probably lost a lot of it, actually. It looks like we lost Mexico to the Colombian market. I think we had Persia as well. Don't have Persia no more. Not my gumdrop buttons. It's era. Especially it's a buff for Russia, because like Russia, you often don't even use your arable land, and so like it's really not that great. But now it's like having 100 arable land here is actually like fantastic, you know. Oh my god, I forgot that I would have an active front with them. Son of a bizzle, dude. I think maybe we try and defend here. Son of a bizzle. This war might not even be winnable, to be honest. An anarchist. Let's go, baby. The Chinese contingent. I think we need more Chineses. So we are gonna get 35 more. 20. 35. And then we'll make this the new Chinese army. The cocaine addict gentleman. We're gonna come in here, we're gonna build a 50 stack. Alright, how much are we at? Alright. Maybe we actually just slot this in on this front. And we're gonna maybe need the help. I don't know. Zeppelin time. Why are you not using artillery and horsey? They don't do anything right now in this iteration. Or they're exactly, they have different consumption profiles is my understanding, but they do the exact same, they have the exact same stats as infantry. My kingdom for templates, though. My kingdom for templates. Would have been better for me just to actually move everything else behind the other stuff, but that's fine. Do we have just 100% on this front? Because they don't assign anyone? Okay. I guess we're going to occupy all of Germany then. You do you guys. We're going to put in the strategic objective of here. It's going to take a little bit of time to get to, I think. Holy frontage. There's still like spaghetti front on this, but it's not as bad as it used to be. I think home front we maybe want to put on just advance into Germany. If Germany's going to play like this. Actually, no. Home front we're going to have defend the Baltic. But if Germany's just going to play like this, we're going to put these guys on advance fronts. Oh, and we wanted to go communist, huh? We forgot we missed the main point. Will this radicalize? Will radicalize the rural folk. Curious. And the Orthodox Church and the petite bourgeoisie. I'm not sure we can tolerate a radicalization of the rural folks. So let's have a bit of a think. Is it because they're radical? It's because they have this guy? Yeah, they don't like Council Republic. So let's find ourselves an agitator and promote him to government. You're an authoritarian. Do you have an opinion on... You don't have an opinion on some of this stuff. So, or we could just... Let's roll the dice on this, actually. We're going to slot him out of government, and we are going to exile this radical gentleman. And now we get a reformer, who is not going to be like that. And let's slot this in. And then now... It's just going to do the Industrialists, who are not going to get radicalized off this. It'll probably create a movement, though. No way around that. At least not very easy. So let's just try and go council. He has 40% chance. And this migration that we're going to get once we annex this is going to be tremendous. We are going to kick this out in order to decrease the disapproval, and then I think we might even decrease taxes here, just to try and avoid anything too big. But yeah, that allows us to ditch a malice for the approval. Rural folk not being upset is nice, and also floating the extra of this is not terrible. Can't let them leave. This is like absolute madness looking. I'm not even sure what's going on. I guess this guy can move over here or something. I guess they didn't like having any land. What is this? Why are you leaving? Silliness. We'll have our little 20 stack push this out. They could deal with that. That 20 stack actually looks like they're lost somewhere. I don't know where they are. We'll designate that the strategic objective. Wait, you didn't decide to advance? Oh, did I not? I think I did. Change leader of the Industrialists. Changing the leader of the Industrialists won't help that much. I'm pretty sure they hate Council Republic. I mean, we could double check. They strongly oppose Council Republic either way. But they don't endorse the other thing. But we also can't exile another agitator. We can't exile him because we already exiled. We would have to promote him to Gov. No, not my fronts. Not my gumdrop buttons. Banjar Peasant Revolt. Jesus, I didn't even notice this. That sucks. Looks like that might not work out in our favor. This seems to be going okay though. Ish. Our 100 stack is stationed at the I mean, maybe that's not bad, because they're actually fighting in North India whenever they're trying to push us, but we definitely want that guy to push out some stuff. Like, we can't assign this guy to a front, because he's fighting a battle. He's fighting a defensive battle somewhere. Let's make sure the Chinese contingent and such. These guys are just stationed, though. Why did you just get stationed instead of doing things? God, that's kind of obnoxious. Now we're actually gonna have to watch super carefully. I should have taken a closer look at that. I mean, these guys look like they're pushing. Looks like it's mostly not our troops if they only have 24 offense. You recorded it, get exposed. I don't even know what you recorded. But yeah, I guess I'm exposed. Sikhs are out. Does it unassign everyone still? No. Alright, these guys are stationed in South India. I want you to push a front, please. I'd love you to push a front too, but... Oh, what am I doing? Probably do more of that. Looks like, yeah, it looks like Germany decided they didn't want to get absolutely wrecked. So they sent some troops back, maybe. We need more stuff. I think we're not spreading shift work, so 51ing stuff is now reasonable. Oh my god, I misclicked. There we go. Close enough. God, that hurts so bad, like where these are at. Also hurts knowing that as soon as we add some of this infra, immediately power plants will come in. Yeah, I think you just can't go power plants right now. We'll test it again on the next patch, but like I think they're just like unbuildable as a result of the things. Are we winning some? No, we're not. You should read the message you wrote above. It might be, I might not be able to see it because it's on top chat instead of live chat. Let's take a look. The message you wrote above about pollution buff? That's what I see. The checksum in the game is the same as the other videos for content from yesterday's. So the content from yesterday's dev blog is still unavailable to you, right? Yes, yes, yes. We are currently playing on, we just kind of wanted to make the USSR, to be honest. Looks like we're doing okay on GDP. Failed naval invasion. How does that naval invasion fail? What the frick? Bro. It's 100 on 100. 100 on 100. You don't fail these, my guys. Couple Republicans. There we go. Maybe that was the problem. I don't think that was the problem. I think it's just kind of bugged out. Traveling to Baltic HQ. No, don't do that. Jesus. Chinese contingent. South India HQ. Do something, please. I think we can't enforce them below 0 because we don't have the capital. But so here's the thing. Why is that auto-failing? Alright, so that just auto-fails, but I guess we'll assign to this front. I don't know. We'll just push Germany. I don't think we have any war goals on Germany, so Germany can be enforced without us needing to do anything. Fourth Russian fleet needs promotion, I think. So 100 out of 60. Yeah, it did, but that wasn't the problem. But yeah, we probably saw it at about the same time. You guys are on a 1 minute delay. You're in a 1 minute perpetual timeout, I suppose. Relativistically. We're on studies, so we might be getting the USSR here. And it looks like, I mean, we also have it as a strategic objective. So hopefully we can push there soon. Said hopefully we can push there soon. Hopefully we can push there soon. I think that they want to liberate Jaipur, so this is going to be good for us because it's going to mean that they can't enforce us below 0. No. Battle's going in the wrong direction, my guys. Although we are making progress, except not with this Banjar thing. The Banjar, they might just have us. I think that they just have us here. I don't think I think it's going to be bugged out to this to the extent that we won't be able to land. I guess we'll try with the African army to land on them, but I think that this doesn't work. 270 years to the landing. All right, fair enough. You win. But I believe we have lost Banjar here. Oh, EOS cap, baby. Let's also we looked through a lot of our industries, but we didn't look through resource stuff. I guess that's kind of all we can do there. Anything close to 51 here? Yeah, there is, baby. How about here? Right here? Oh yeah, baby. I mean, we're not getting to 51, but that's, yeah, the truth hurts. Nice, we get the ports, so we can do the full swap now. Oh my god, what territory did we get? Jesus. What territory did we acquire? Texas? Okay. If we swap that, does that solve our problem? No, it doesn't. Jesus. Alright, I don't know where the problem is. Military shipyards, we don't swap those, we do. Covered markets. That one's contingent. We do independent artists, we don't want the bougie patronage. I think we do want everything on Steam Donkey, but that's it that we can know. We do need to swap these over to Steam. And swap these over to Skirmish. General. Industrial Port. I think that's the swaps we need to make. Yeah. We did it. We did it, fams. Can we get Council Republic faster? It's all mine. Actually, we would have preferred the migration and attraction there. Damn it. They do have pop problems. If you're having pop problems, I feel bad for you, son. Got 99 problems. Amongst them, pops are some. I've kind of been pleased with greener grass over the course of the game because, like, Perm has become a lot more populated over time than Ural. And I believe they look very similar at game start. And I think that this is, like, so we have 1.6 million versus 3.8. I think it's the compounding effect of you attract the migrants, and then the migrants, once they're, also grow and pop. And so, like, it has quite a bit of a lagging effect, but does allow you to really grant a lot more pops in a specific area. Are you going to give up, or what? I like how Germany's with it now. Oh, yeah, because we also have that situation. Alright. These guys are bugged out. And trapped somewhere. Yeah, where are you? Ah, yes. Trapped in the middle of the USA. It do be like that sometimes. Sometimes you just get trapped in the USA. I don't know if you've ever been to Colorado, but sometimes you do get trapped there. It's sad but true. Any performance update difference from the new update? We're on the public beta, if you mean the 1.5.2 versus 1.5.1. I didn't notice anything specific. we are not yet on. Next week is when they have the new performance changes, and so we're not on that yet. 1.5, the performance seems way worse, and it's way harder to do the things. And so overall, it's been a lot worse. Your all has much less pops at the start of the game. I stand corrected. But I mean, I do think that there is a compounding effect. We are increasing literacy, yay! We will be going USSR. Yeah, 1.5.2 versus 1.5.1. I mean, they're both pretty bad relative to 1.4, which was worse than 1.3, which was worse than 1.2. I think like performance has been steadily getting worse. I think 1.2 to 1.3 was one of the bigger drops on like in terms of a live patch. All right, so. We'll try landing with the new Russia army and see if this works. Why don't we try landing here instead? Yeah, so we're just not gonna win this, so we're just gonna capitulate here. We could swap sides, but we don't want to lose our graphs and our auto expands. We'll just give up Banjar, it's not too big a deal. 200 million pop growth in 4 years. Nice. Yeah, it is nice. This is our infamy currently. It's at 63. So not too bad, not too good. Just right. One day, our guys will decide to push into South Bengal and then we'll enforce on them promptly. One day. One day I'll fly away. Something like that. Yeah, GDP's been cranking up at a decent clip. Zeppelins is going to be nice. Maybe not as nice as I think. I think when you build around Mappy so much, like, the value of Zeppelins goes down, right? And, like, we've been trying to build around Mappy this entire time, but, vacuum canning is not the best spread, maybe. I think that we also need to increase the universities to 51s. Yikes, we did not. This new EOS. Are you going high infamy now? No. I just wanted to annex EIC, but like this might be the last major war. We're just trying to get on Council Republic and then we're going to end the stream, I think. The plan was to do an 1.5 to 2 hour stream. We're a little over 2 hours now, but we're also on the last leg of Council Republic, so this was the plan. I don't think, Playa, that the stream is ending soon. I think this will be the last stream for the run. Yeah. This is going to be the last stream for the run. Echoes of Revolutions, damn. Yevgeny, this might throw a wrench in our handbasket. We do not want him to be... Ah, that sucks. We really don't want him to be radical, because that'll spike us a rev. Yep, you see here, it's spiking a rev. We actively got this guy out from being that, so that we wouldn't rev. He's gonna leave government soon here. Luckily, we're still max legitimacy, so... Kick rocks, my friend. We still have all the votes from the Agrarian Party. They're just in the trade unions now. And look at the clout. Is that because you left the... It's because you left the thing. So now we have even more enactment chance. Kick rocks. GTFO, my guys. How's the new army system? I feel quite intimidated by it. Currently, it's non-functional in this iteration of 1.5, but it will be functional in the next one. I find it a bit invigorating. Notably, the naval landings are really nice, and these work out pretty well. You know, I'm excited for the idea that they might have a ton of mobilization options, which is going to be a lot of fun to play around with. And also, this is not currently working, being able to have different unit compositions, I think is going to be really cool. But they didn't mention in the dev diary whether this unit composition thing is going to have a meaningful difference. Right now, it doesn't, so you just go all skirmish, and so it's like, whatever. But I am very curious curious about some of these things, and it'll be interesting to see. That rural folk cloud powerful to 7%. Yeah, baby. It's because they don't have any of the power from the votes because they left the agrarian party, and it just all of it went to the trade unionists instead here, and so yeah. Kebab is out. We did give them Adana back though. Rip the border gore. We wanted the border gore. We deserved the border gore. We will also finish this war. It looks like we really will finish this war. And now is the terrible thing is I think if we reset production methods, we like break everything, right? But we're just gonna do it because, and then we're just gonna have to go one state at a time to fix everything. It's just like it doesn't feel good having to do this, but it is what it is, right? And now we're gonna have shortages in a bunch of places. Yes. Yes. Oh, maybe not. Maybe this is okay. Now, do we have good shortage here? We have good shortage on transportation. I mean, maybe we just build out... Maybe we just actually just build to cover places that are having shortages. We'll just build railroads and stuff and solve it this way instead of, like, actually... Yeah, I guess we'll solve it this way. Because we also know where the mines are going to be. They had an infrastructure problem there anyways, but this is also where the mines are. There should be some mines here. There should be some, yeah, mines here. Are you on? Yep, you are. There should be mines in Bihar as well. Oh, not yet, but I guess we'll add some. Something like this. We just want to keep it rolling so we can get the thing. Enact wage subsidies. No, not my gumdrop buttons. We have a ton of bureaucracy. So I guess we would want to incorporate a couple states. We're going to incorporate Delhi and North Bengal here, and Adhara, and then now we don't have that much bureaucracy anymore. How does your playstyle differ when you win by yourself streaming, if at all? I try and keep everything going, and then I read chat a lot, and so I make a lot of mistakes while I'm streaming. I guess that's not really a playstyle, but like, woohoo! I suppose that's not really necessarily a playstyle, but I try and keep pace of play high, and so I will make a lot more mistakes. And also, like, dun dun dun. I would play the theme song, but then I'll get bopped by... I would play the USSR national anthem, but I'll get bopped. You know, we'll play a little bit of it. Hopefully I don't get demonetized. It's a USSR time. Yeah, I mean, like, I won't really pause to consider stuff very long if I'm playing on stream versus if I'm playing, so I don't think it affects necessarily playstyle, but it affects, like, pacing and this type of stuff. USSR way. Soviet Texas, you love to see it. Here, this is every Republican's worst nightmare. Every Texan's worst nightmare. Mexico has a bunch of territory, and then we have the Soviet Union in Texas and Cali. Yeah. But, I think we are going to conclude this episode and this run. You know, here, look at our GDP. It cranked up so much in the last 15 seconds. He looks as he annexed to this guy. You know, look at all the radicals too. I mean, so let's take a look at some of our metrics and stuff before we go. What's going on? Our GDP, very high, big nice. Our prestige, very high, big nice. Also, like, all these places are gonna have this huge negative migration, look. And then look at this. Look at how much pops are coming in. Oh, it's so good. It's so nice. So the pops will just flood into all this, like, Russian territory, and, like, also over here. Like, La Paz just has to be cranking up. Yeah. And so this will all be super, super nice, you know, as the pops redistribute from the EIC. In terms of, baby, you know me. In terms of, like, I think it will be the case that if you're playing the UK, trying to finagle these guys onto no migration controls so that you can sap off pops eventually is going to be such an OP strat. And so that's interesting. SOL, we're not the best. Population, we're not the best either, but we're close. We're real close, especially Great Qing's got some problems. If we were to continue, I don't know what we do if we continue this run. I mean, we're still on LF. I think we actually, if we were going to continue the run and we wanted to play optimally, I think we would maybe just stay as the USSR and not get off of... I think we do not want to go on to cooperative ownership until we can get all of our company slots filled up with what we want late game, because it doesn't kill one of your companies, it just, you can't until you remove it when you get off of laissez-faire. So this is maybe a thing. You'll get demonetized for playing a national anthem of a country that doesn't exist anymore. Who has the copyright, Lamau? So there's different recordings of the national anthem, and whoever owns the particulars, I hope I don't get demonetized, but whoever, so if a symphony plays Beethoven, yes, they have that particular recording of Beethoven, and they have the copyright to it. So whatever orchestra played has the copyright for it. I also don't think this video is going to make much money anyway, so it doesn't matter. But whichever orchestra played that version of the USSR, the national anthem, has the copyright to that particular performance, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Is Council Republic good? Council Republic is meta late game, yeah. It's going to be the reason why is that the investment pool, there's this negative modifier where money that's getting invested into the investment pool eventually gets negatively modified. So you go from really, really liking capitalists to preferring that you didn't have capitalists. And when you go on to, Council Republic, and then it's actually not a Council Republic, it's not actually the law, but the law is the workers' cooperative. When you get onto workers' co-ops, what ends up happening is now the ownership changes from capitalists to shopkeepers, and shopkeepers only contribute 5% of their investment pool to the 5% of their dividends to the investment pool. So that is the weekly balance here. And so what the change is with the capitalists contributing 20% from this reinvestment, as this modifier gets bigger and bigger, more money gets annihilated. And since the shopkeepers are contributing 1/4 of the amount of money to the investment pool, that means less money will get annihilated. And instead, the shopkeepers, instead of contributing more of their balance to the investment pool, they spend it on consumer goods. And so this allows your economy to get stimulated more. However, really early, capitalists are the bestest, because you have a few modifiers that are free money modifiers in, this capitalist bonus, this 20% increased investment pool contribution efficiency, because this doesn't actually increase the amount of money that is taken from them. They always contribute 20%, but when you have this active, they'll contribute 20%, but 24 gets delivered, so that means you create the money out of nothing, that additional marginal 4%, and so that's why they're really, really good early on, but then, they phase out later. It's around, I think it's 891 million GDP is the break point where if you had powerful Industrialist, the 20% bonus there, and the laissez-faire bonus of 25%, these can no longer overcome the malice that you are getting from this, such that it's now no longer free money. So we did swap to Council Republic earlier than is optimal. We should have done it once we were above 890 million GDP, but we just wanted to get the Soviet Union here, and so this is kind of, yeah. You think that version was the Red Army Choir? Is colonizing Africa needed for the late game? It's not needed, but this is where the rubber's at. You certainly want to colonize Africa. You want to get as much of Africa as possible, as a general heuristic. Is communism still something to consider with France due to the OP industrial bonus? I think you need to hit a phase in the game where construction is no longer useful. for you go. So I think France goes worker co-ops maybe at 4 to 5 billion GDP instead of 1.1 billion. But I still think eventually it's better. But what I think is like it's when you are hitting equilibrium employment on a bunch of places that you will want to make the swap, right? If you have equilibrium employment and unemployment because the economy is getting so depressed at that point when you're at equilibrium employment and buildings can't employ up even though there's available labor because prices are just so depressed, then adding marginal buildings doesn't actually do much positive to the economy, so the additional construction is not useful. So at that point you would want to go council republic, but that's super late. And you're like doing it because it will spin more money through the economy, because once they're on shopkeeper owned, then less money's getting annihilated. And so the question is do you want free construction or do you want less money getting annihilated? If you're building buildings that aren't even employing up anyways, the additional construction is not useful, but that's super late when you get to that threshold. You don't play communism in Victoria 3. Does it require a lot more micro? Yes, because there's less pool investment. And so this means that you will have to control a majority of the queue. And so it also is just more tedious. And so, like, just in terms of playability, laissez-faire is probably better than cooperative ownership. But yeah. So that was the stream. A little bit of a shorter stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. I have a bunch of videos already recorded. We'll be releasing them over the next few days. I think that bad news for the fascism UK run. We don't actually get fascism on that run. With all the episodes I've currently recorded, we haven't gotten to fascism yet because we have to get this uber late game tech. And you can't actually you can't roll a fascist or do the fascist event chain until you get mass surveillance, and even then we would have to re-roll a lot for fascists and then like exile a whole bunch and like probably end up revving and then like do a whole bunch of like pain. We don't have mass surveillance yet, and so like that's currently anyone who's watching that, I have bad news. I apologize to those who wanted the fascists. I just couldn't do it, and now I kind of don't want to play a lot more on this patch anyways, because people are not going to be watching this content once the new content's available, and so I'm probably going to take a little bit of a backseat on that. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to do the YouTube algorithm stuff, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It all helps out, and have a good day. Hopefully this video wasn't demonetized by playing the national anthem of the USSR. Bye-bye now.